What's up, you all? So I decided today's a really hot day to do a stream, huh? Because a lot of the people I've been noticing, they've been losing it on social media. And why is this deal important? I'm going to review all those people one by one, all those people who are clearly losing it. That why did Pakistan do like a peace agreement, or like all these people who are yelling like, oh, they're bowing to Israel. Oh, I have a real answer. And I guarantee when I start showing footages, not a lot of the people are gonna have answers to this question that I'm about to pose. One of the most important question is, if did anybody learn anything from the past? Like throughout the years, what has happened? I'm gonna start off with Syria first. That did anybody learn anything from the past, all that has happened for supporting these dumb organizations and this dumb ummah movements all over the world without having to understand how many people have died. So all these lunatic content creators from the Muslim world, not Israel, you guys are fine. This requires to the dumb idiots who are posting to this deal. And I'm going to review you one by one and translate your statements one by one. But first, let's start with Syria. And I want to know, honestly, these idiots who are bombing on here, I really want to know what you guys have to say looking at the Syrians, how they suffered with Assad, thanks to Iran, Khamenei, who they love so much, supporting their genocide to die. And then people are like, where's the Muslim Ummah? But you support Muslims to die. And Zionists, as in Zionist Israelis, they didn't do shit like that. This shit has been going on for more than 47 years. And Khamenei, he allowed it, and he supported this movement for people that I ever wondered why Iraq wants to be free, because Iraq is sandwiched both ways. Khamenei's way, and of course, he wants to keep it simple with the Americans, the Iraqis do. So that's why Iraq wants to be free. So stay tuned. I'm going to start with the Syrians first and then go over X platforms. And I honestly want to know, which retarded Muslim agrees to this retarded foolishness? Just look at Syria's atmosphere before Gilani. And that Syrians mean all Syrians, not one Syrians, all. And I want an honest opinion from you all seeing this. Does this look normal to you? And you honestly want this to continue in your land? You got to be either you're mental, or you should move out of the land and go to another land if you support this movement. So here you go. I'm going to put this on my screen, and we are going to watch what retarded thing this has been going on and since when. Here we go. Let's go. Share screen. Spotlight. Okay, I'm going to stay behind the curtains, and we are going to watch Syria.
The UN has accused the Assad regime of repeatedly committing war crimes in Syria, including a chemical attack in April on a town called Douma. It killed dozens of people and triggered US-led strikes inside Syria.
This was Assad, by the way, all those retarded lunatic Muslims watching. And Bushra, I have a slap in the face for you singing UK. Can you honestly tell me, was this the Mossad movement, or what? It says right there, Assad movement on its people, that you love to put Mossad in every sentence of your stupid tongue. So watch away, and I want an honest opinion. Do you support this foolishness? And this has been going on for how long? Ever since Iran's in there, Iraq and Syria have been sandwiched. Of course, US has to fight Iran, and then of course the citizens, to protect Syrian citizens of inside from Iran's evil funding to kill them.
To this day, Syrian officials and their Russian allies deny the attack ever took place.
There were no dead bodies found.
This is a theater.
هو عبارة عن سينما هوليوودية.
The event did not take place.
So it's a farce.
Finding out what really happened matters. Entire families were killed, and the regime went to great lengths to conceal the evidence. Our investigation is the most detailed reconstruction of the attack so far. We analysed a trove of videos and interviewed dozens of witnesses and experts. We scoured some evidence with the investigative group Bellingcat, and we teamed up with the agency Forensic Architecture to create a virtual model of the crime scene. We centre on one building that confirms where the attack happened, one bomb that shows who carried it out and when, and the victims, whose symptoms tell us what happened, a lethal chemical attack.
Let me repeat myself. Al-Assad has been funded by Khamenei many years to kill its own people, and Muslims are just going to shut up and watch it like it's some TV show. If a Zionist, Zionist this, the Zionist that, shut up, Pakistani Muslims. Deal with the flow, or you can move with the Hamas militant organization and suffer this, which is why Muslim countries are done with this bullshit.
The evidence combined exposes Syria and Russia's lies.
Where's your concrete evidence about what happened?
The concrete evidence is right here. First, it's important to understand why Douma was a target that day. The Syrian military had launched a brutal campaign to retake the eastern suburbs of Damascus, held by rebels for 5 years. The strategy? To terrorize the population into submission. It worked. The regime began gradually seizing town after town, and Douma was the last enclave holding out. We're going to focus on this one street. Ambulances used it to reach an underground tunnel that linked up with Douma's last functioning hospital, and the street may have been targeted for that reason. In just 2 days, the bombing levelled entire buildings, one after the other. And then, on this apartment building, a chemical weapon was dropped. Assad
has given his people drugs before, and that also includes chemical weapons. Kill its own people with chemical weapons, including drugs. He ruled a company. I forgot the drug name. I wanted to make a documentary on this. So he would give the militant organization drugs to fight. So obviously when you're given drugs, you're literally not in your senses and you're like a lost cause of brain because you're feed drugs. Assad has did that to many of his militant organizations, feeded drugs to fight. Now, if any Muslim is watching, you retarded lunatics, can you honestly tell me this is normal? And when was giving drugs halal? You idiots. If you see the change of people signing into the peace agreement against Hamas, that's because the Muslim countries are fed up with all these fights. We're done. There's a limit from all this. And all this is controlled by Iran, not the Iranians who are dying. Iran's IRGC regime, which is why the Iranians want it dead. Something Bushra is not understanding clearly, lives in a mental world. I'm going to go through some of her statements and show some stuff, but this is the basic starting point.
Has offered 2 explanations for the attack.
Either the terrorists had chemical weapons and they used it intentionally, or there was no attack at all.
Initial investigations became nearly impossible because his forces took control of Douma and the crime scene. Many witnesses and media activists were bussed out. The first outsiders allowed to visit the site were Russian media, who broadcast their own distorted version of events. But that propaganda unwittingly gave us visual evidence to find the truth of what happened. We couldn't visit the site, but we worked with forensic architecture to reconstruct the crime scene and study the clues it contained. And here is where the trail of evidence begins. We confirmed it's where the bomb fell by geolocating this mosque, this school, and apartment block seen from the building's balcony. And we made a model of the building by analysing the videos taken inside soon after the attack and mapping architectural details as first responders moved from floor to floor and into rooms. Gruesome as the videos were, they confirmed.
See that? There was a dead body in there. That was a dead body of somebody who was dead in there, not taken care of, literally just lying in there dead. And it's been like this for so many freaking years. Israel wouldn't attack Syria if it wasn't for October 7th. Doesn't have a reason to, but it's been like this for so many freaking years. Until those Hamas organization bases are there, this stupid madness is going to keep going and going and going, because until those organizations are there, Khamenei, if he's not destroyed by the Iranians, he's going to keep finding ways to refill himself up to condemn in another war. Basically, and some of these retarded people who are crying like babies, who are not understanding the real concept here. This is the real concept. This. It's been going on for decades. Decades. All these supporters are Khomeini supporters for one cause, and I'm going to review the Alexa cause later, that all these stupid mullahs are preaching into mosques like it's some political project, than to actually be teaching little children when it's time to pray, when it's a perfect time to pray or inspire. You should be paying attention to praying. Instead, all lunatics pay attention to Palestinian cause. How retarded. But that's what's getting educated.
Confirmed these bodies were found at the building that was hit. We counted 34 victims. Men, women and children spread across 2 floors and in the stairwell. Now we'll look at the bomb. Its rigging and casing tell us who dropped it. Frost tells us when it happened, and black residue indicates chlorine was used. The bomb itself is a crude chemical weapon, a pressurized chlorine tank designed to blow open on impact. And this debris tells us it was rigged to fall from the sky. This matters because Syria controls the airspace and opposition fighters don't have aircraft. Scattered around are small wheels and axles. And here, in the tangled remains, we'll see straps, another wheel, and fins. When we reassemble this twisted metal in our model of the balcony, it becomes a cylindrical rigging, and it fits right onto the canister. This is almost identical to the rigging on a second bomb found in Douma that day. Straps and hooks so it can attach to a helicopter's release system. Rear fins to create drag and stabilise the bomb as it falls. And small axles and wheels so the bomb alternatively can be rolled out of a helicopter. Clearly, the bomb on the balcony was designed to drop from the sky. And the damage to the casing tells us that it did. These deep dents mean the tip of the bomb made first impact, consistent with it falling nose down from above and piercing the ceiling. But most importantly, this imprint revealed on the underside of the canister. Lying beside it is a crumpled metal lattice that we think covered the balcony. Its dimensions precisely fit the pattern seared onto the canister. Our analysis suggests that this imprint was made by the force of impact when the bomb crashed through the metal lattice and onto the concrete below. Our conclusion is it had to drop from the sky.
There's also sources say, which is actually kind of hard to find, I tried to find it, that Assad has also burned his people with acid. And Russia supported that movement when he burned his people with acid. So all these stuff happening, and people are honestly just going to sit, the retarded Pakistani Muslim on my own, who are sitting there crying, are you honestly going to tell me this is normal to do to the Syrians and you're still crying about Palestinians? Then to just eliminate the Hamas bases is going to be easier for the lands. It's going to be easier for Iranians to be safe. It's going to be easier for them to survive versus Khomeini's evil regime that I'm going to review after this. So you're honestly going to tell me what happened in Syria for the past decade before Jelani came is freaking normal? Does this look freaking normal to you? This was Syria's history for the past freaking decade. It's been like this under the name what? Allahu Akbar. There you go. Kill its own people. The leaders.
We have evidence of regime helicopters dropping them all across Syria during this conflict. In the campaign to retake Aleppo, in this attack on a hospital in Al-Latamina, in Sarakib just 2 months before the attack on Douma, and on many more occasions.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Flight observers reported Syrian helicopters leaving this military airbase on the night of the attack. It was the staging point for many bombing runs that day. Soon after, the helicopters were seen circling close to Douma. This was around the time that medics and activists in Douma began reporting the attack on Twitter and WhatsApp. We verified they were in Douma, and the details match other witness interviews we took. Now, the evidence that the bomb was also dropped around this time. This video was filmed by one of the first people to enter the building after the attack. His camera light catches a white object. We know it's the bomb because our model of the building shows it's in the precise position that the bomb landed. It even matches the shape and contour of the canister. But what about the colour? The white is a layer of frost that experts tell us coats the underside of a tank when it empties and the liquid left inside cools. They call it auto-refrigeration, a phenomenon we've seen in previous chlorine attacks. The frost supports the thesis that chlorine was released quickly and recently. This video was shot around 10 p.m. We know because we tracked down the cameraman who sent us the video file data from his cell phone. Experts told us the frost can remain for hours, and this lines up with the time frame given in witness accounts of that night. The last clue on the bomb is this black residue. A metals expert told us that when chlorine mixes with water, or in this case frost, it forms an acid that corrodes.
Remember when I brought up the acid? There you go, you're listening to it, some of it. Some of this stuff is actually terminated from the internet. I tried finding it where Assad burned its people with acid. I'm going to see if I can find an internet link or whatever, but yes, it's true. The video has been terminated where Assad actually burnt its people with acid to keep them in line. And all of you who are listening, you are listening good. That's why we have so many freaking ex-Muslims, because of this trauma. Who could freaking handle this at your house? Either you're stupid or you're mental, and using religion as a playbook to kill its people for so many freaking years. Burn them with acid, give them drugs, literally feel like it's okay to do all this shit on the land. And you're honestly going to tell me that people are not going to get tired of it and just surrender and do the peace deal? Of course. Of course. And I'm telling you, he actually burned his people with acid that the documentary's been suspended off of YouTube. This was Syria before Jelani. Before Jelani, Jelani's still in process. It has not been 1 year yet with him, still in process, but this was Syria's condition. Iraq's been sandwiched, beaten from both directions, that Iran tries to attack it back if it doesn't bow to Iran. And they think it's bowing to America instead. So that's why Iraq's been beaten from both directions. Until those retarded militant bases are there, this chaos is going to be keep continuing. Now stop to it. No stop. You're watching it with your own eyes. And if anybody who tells me this is freaking normal, there's something seriously wrong with you, and you can go move in with a militant organization and see what life is like.
The metal, creating a dark compound. So where we once saw frost, we now see black corrosion. It's further evidence that this was a chlorine attack. So far, this collection of evidence helps us understand where the attack happened, when it happened, who did it, and the chemical that was used. Our final, and perhaps most damning evidence, are the videos of the victims that we verified were taken at the building. Filmed by medics and media activists, they show that this was a chlorine attack.
Look, there it is. Dead
so
body.
far, this collection of evidence helps us understand where the attack happened, when it happened, who did it,
Chlorine.
and the chemical that was used.
I'm going to show you a dead
Our
body.
final, and perhaps most damning evidence, are the videos of the victims that we verified were
Those
taken
dead
at
bodies.
the building.
Bodies. Dead.
Filmed by medics and media activists, they show that this was a lethal chemical attack. We weren't qualified to diagnose the symptoms, so we enlisted the help of experts with decades of experience in chemical weapons exposure. A warning, this raw footage is very graphic.
So if you see people crying, this is no different than how Hamas treated the Palestinians. Just like you see the Syrians crying, this is no different than how Hamas treated the Palestinians. If they didn't bow to the narrative to go against Israelis, they would have been finished. Just like this video right here, how Assad accused and murdered its own people for whatever it wanted. Fed it drugs, burned it with acid, bombed the people. It's in front of your eyes, nothing to hide about it. You're literally seeing with your own eyes and how people are crying. This is torture and abuse by freaking leaders and using religion as a playbook because they get freaking paid for it. But yes, look away. Look with your eyes.
We've obscured it to focus on specific details. Some experts identified two clear signs of exposure to chlorine.
Chlorine gas actually turns into an acid. The tissues produce.
Remember when I said about the acid? There it is. So he gave acid to people, and he would burn his
We've
own people
obscured
with
it to
acid,
focus.
along with drugs, chemical weapons, and this is how life was like for the Syrians with Assad. Today, Assad, I believe he is dead, but his company got famous by making drugs. Now, what halal part is that? Making drugs, and became famous off of making drugs. And he would give those drugs to the militant organizations to fight. You can imagine if you were on drugs, and how the hell would you fight? You'll be a mental case. Yes, this was life. Maybe Iraq, I'll find something later, but Syria is a sample of what Hamas is. Hamas is 10 times worse, but Syria is just an example. What it lived, what the Palestinians live under the Hamas organization, and that some people are being stupid to understand.
On specific details. Some experts identified two clear signs of exposure to chlorine.
Chlorine gas actually turns into an acid. The tissues produce a lot of mucus. It's often referred to as a frothy.
Look at that. Gross. Embarrassing. Extremely non-human-like. You see that? White spit coming out that because they were given acid. Look at that. Just look at what's coming out of his mouth. Right there. The nose, the mouth. Whoa. Eats all this stuff because the people were given chemical weapons, acid thrown. You can imagine if acid goes into your freaking body. How the hell will you be? What would your body respond like? It's no different than, might as well just give you an electric shocker to your body. Look at that. That is non-human-like, very gross, white stuff coming out of your mouth. Because the body can't take acid. Common sense. Who can take acid? This is pure abuse to the Syrians for so many years, just like the Palestinians lived under the same torture under Hamas. And you guys are going to sit there, cry like stupid freaking crybabies, and blame the Israelis. Really now? Do you see Israelis doing this? This was their own leader. For so many freaking years. Look at this. The photo, what's coming out of his mouth?
The mucus.
There appear to be corneal burns.
Look at the eyes. Terrified. Traumatized. So if somebody tells me you're ex-Muslim, yes, I do not blame anybody ex-Muslim, because if you were living under trauma, you would come out too. Just see the face. Look at the face. Leaders did this. Leaders been doing this for decades. They became rich off of selling drugs, and he launched his own drug company by torturing his own freaking people for so long. And you're honestly going to tell me, oh, that is normal. Oh, no, it's the Zionists. Oh, shut the fuck up, please. People who are crying. This is not normal. This is abuse.
The eyes appear almost whitened. This could happen from exposure to a chlorine gas.
We have reporting that the chlorine exposure here was extremely high. A US official told us chlorine and the nerve agent sarin were found in blood samples taken from Douma. So a second chemical may also have been used. But the experts all agree that these victims were not killed by conventional weapons, and the scenes were not staged, as Syrian officials have claimed.
We don't really see evidence of physical trauma from blast injuries or shrapnel injuries or gunshot wounds.
Lastly, the locations of the victims suggests what happened inside. Chlorine gas is twice as heavy as air and sinks instead of rising. After years of war, many Syrians know exactly what to do if they smell it. That helps explain why many of the victims were found near water sources and on the staircase. Sheltering in the basement from the intense bombardment, they moved upstairs once they smelled chlorine. They couldn't have known it was coming from the roof, or that they were moving into a death trap. The Douma attack was not an isolated incident. It's just the latest in a string of chemical attacks that date back to 2013. And leaked material we obtained from the UN has implicated the Syrian regime in 6 attacks in 2018 alone. Taken as a whole, they represent what we believe is a deliberate strategy of Bashar al-Assad to poison his own people. These are war crimes.
Yes, so as I reviewed, if somebody's into their stupid freaking senses, yes, he would use acid. YouTube sounds like it took the acid documentary off. He would use chemical weapons, and with time, he created his own specific drug that he would feed the soldiers just to fight. So he kept his people in abusive life for so many freaking years. Now, if somebody's going to tell me that is freaking normal, that there's something wrong with you, why don't you go live in that society and find out what life is like? Being like in this shithole that the Syrians lived under for so many freaking years.
But the prime suspect continues to roam freely.
Yes, of course. That was Assad. He's been like that for so many freaking years. And he abused his people like that for so many years, like it's no fucking problem. And these type of leaders do have the potential to actually literally terminate stuff on the internet for their crimes. You've seen it? Yes. Throw acid at them, throw chemical weapons at them, feed them drugs made by him. And I showed you photos, that white stuff coming out of their mouth because the body couldn't handle it. So obviously, when you see ex-Muslims convert, they did it to survive because that's what they did to the people for 47 years. If you have an atmosphere like Morocco or like Pakistan's right, not the Taliban, and places like that, then yes, some of the people might not convert as easily, but places like this, hell yeah, you must be kidding. If anybody's going to tell me that religion is a shame to both human and God, religion should be used for human practices, like to pray at home, do stuff at home. It should not be used for a political project to abuse its own people. That's Iran's life currently. It used religion to abuse its own people because it makes profit. The profit comes from what? Selling the religion to Assad, selling it to the Iraqi people, not give a damn if the Iraqis are dying, make profit out of it. No, sadly, you're wrong. What is your opinion? Oh, you're an Indian. How you doing? You can share your opinion right in the chat box. I'm going to open my next documentary. If you're from India, share your opinion. That's fine, because I know India had its own preferences too, but you're welcome to share with me. Now I'm going to show you some footages of some of the statements that retarded idiots have stated, and I'm going to share that too. But you're welcome to share your statement with me, Aman Kumar. You were the only one who commented, but you're welcome to share away. Okay, so the next thing we are going to watch is some of statements how retarded people stated on here. I'm going to speak it in English, and I'm going to say it in Urdu, and I'm going to translate why. There we go. Next thing we're going to watch is some mental statements by people who feel like it's some game, but yeah, here we go. Share. X platform. Share. Add to scene. Okay, make this full. Okay, we are going to watch this. Home. Okay, bookmarks. Let's see. Let's go to my bookmarks. Bookmarks. Okay, here we go. We're going to start out with the first statement. By this guy. Everybody knows this guy. What is this sorrow about?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाह। मैं ट्रेन से कराची से मुल्तान जा रहा हूँ पाकिस्तान राइट्स मूवमेंट की तंजीम साजी के सिलसिले में। अभी सोशल मीडिया से पता चला कि पाकिस्तान ने गज़ा पीस पोर्ट में शमूलियत की डोनाल्ड ट्रंप की दावत कबूल कर ली है और पाकिस्तानी दफ्तर खारिज आने की इसका ऐलान कर दिया है। और उसके साथ ये खबर भी आई है कि नेतन्याहू ने भी ये दावत कबूल कर दी है और वो भी गज़ा पीस पोर्ट में अब मेंबर होगा।
I'm going to translate after. Let him finish. I'm going to translate after.
शहबाज शरीफ की दीरीना ख्वाहिश पूरी हो गई। ट्रंप की सरबराही में नेतन्याहू के साथ बैठ। ये अफसोसनाक है। गज़ा पीस बोर्ड एक फ्रॉड है और गज़ा पीस बोर्ड में सारे फैसलों का इख्तियारात और बोर्ड के सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के पास होंगे। ये सिर्फ मेंबर होंगे और $1 मिलियन भी ट्रंप के पास जमा कराएंगे। ये कितनी अफसोसनाक है कि गजा पीस बोर्ड की सदारत डोनाल्ड ट्रंप करेंगे, जो इस जेनोसाइड का स्पॉन्सर है, सप्लायर है, फाइनेंसर है।
Okay, pause for a minute. Pause. Completely freeze, you idiot. So, what happened to the Syrians so long, that wasn't a genocide. You have nothing to say about that, Mr. Ishaq, who's the Senate for the Palestinian people in Pakistan. When the Syrians died, जब इतने ढेर सारे Syrian Assad से मरे थे, they got drugs, they got chemical weapons, they had acid. That was not a genocide. All those dead bodies that I just showed in the footage of a video, that wasn't a genocide. But now that when Muslim countries want to free their lands from this storm and all these bases that are linked to these organizations that Khomeini controls, now it's suddenly a genocide for Palestinians. Just how stupid can you be, Mr. Senate, who supports the Palestinian cause, who's left to Israel through a boat to support the Palestinian people and cross the borders that your own country didn't want you back because you broke the law, and now you're going to say this. But student way, I'm going to translate more for his stupid statement.
उसके राइट साइड पे दहशतगर्द नेतन्याहू बैठे होंगे, जिनके हाथों से 6,80,000 फलस्तीनी अब तक शहीद हो चुके हैं। और
6 lakh. I'm going to show you something interesting too, buddy. So you're going to honestly tell me that you should let them off the hook because they're Palestinian, and it's okay for them to support their stupid freaking charter that literally inspires to kill Israelis and almost anybody that comes in their way. That's okay with you because, that's okay. But if Israelis fight back, that's a genocide. I understand there's content creators listening, but as I said, it's different in my book compared to those who don't support Israel in the Christian book. It's different in my book. In my book, when it comes to supporting the killing of my people by my own, that is war. You do not blame the other person, but support the war of our own people done by stupid leaders. What type of a retarded ummah is that you are going to support the death of our own people, but if somebody does it for their defense to get away from the same mess that you guys been doing for so many freaking years, that's a genocide. But if Assad or anybody else burns or does anything, that's not a genocide. Then you guys are shut up as hell. Are you kidding me? But listen away.
उसके लेफ्ट साइड पर इस्लामी जमहूरिया पाकिस्तान के वज़ीर आज़म जनाब शहबाज शरीफ बैठे हैं। ये अफसोसनाक है। ये अक्सा गज़ा और फ़लस्तीन से गद्दारी है। ये बेवफाई है। एक बात।
No, now I'm going to tell you what the Alexa flood means. Enough with your stupid yip yap. I'm going to stop my share screening for a minute. Let's show this lunatic what Alexa flood and what do they actually stand for and which lunatic supports this movement. I'm going to stop sharing and share something else on my screen. I'm going to show movement, and we're going to show him every detail of it, who's stating retarded stuff like this. Let's show him his little movement, what it actually stands for. Here we go, guys. Let's show him this. Right here. Let's go in, and we're going to show him this. Right here. Come to my screen, and we're going to show him this. That he's like, Alexa Doka, Alexa Doka, Alexa Doka. Let me show you what this actually really means. Get ready to read and feel stupid. All these organizations are linked to this stupid freaking Alexa cause that's being, instead of teaching your little children how to pray, you are teaching them this retarded mental cause in mosques. So here we go. Let's take a look in, guys, and show this lunatic what does it mean with the Alexa cause that he feels like, it's okay to show this shit. But let's go in. Dive in. So right here, this CARE organization, what does it represent? It literally says American Islamic Relations, which represents Hamas into mosque. And it was presented by Nahid Awad many, many years ago. And we're going to go a little bit down because I already reviewed this documentary with you guys. But I'm going to show this guy. Right here. Okay. Omar Lee, Muslim convert to Salafism before joining reform practices of Islam, told Western Islamism. We are going to go down. No, I want people to really see this shit that this retarded idiot is saying, oh, Alexa cause. Let me tell you what the Alexa cause really is and how stupid it is. People would feel embarrassed reading this in front of children. Let's go in. Okay. Alexa cause. Yes, I believe in rape. I believe in kidnapping children. I believe in massacring families. I believe in acceptance of burning homes. Yes, I believe in massacring old people. Acceptable. I want you to go point out and tell me you support each of those and actions. None of those actions anyway benefit for the Palestinian freaking people. So you burn people, you kill people, you rape people for the Alexa cause. That's the stupid cause you want to support. You lunatic. That's what you're going to tell Muslims to support this cause and do this stupid bullshit? That's what you want to tell the Muslims to do this stupid bullshit. I'm showing it in front of everyone. Say hello to the Alexa retarded teachings. Right in here. This is the Alexa cause. All of it. Support the Palestinian people. Support the Palestinian people. Rape people. Kidnap people. Murder people. Massacring people for the Palestinian cause. All freaking normal or more like abnormal, but yes. This is the Alexa cause right here that this lunatic is encouraging people to follow. So if you're a Muslim in your goddamn senses, tell me this is normal. Right here. This is the Alexa cause. Believe massacring children. Believe in rape. Believe in kidnapping. Believe in massacring families. Believe in massacring old people. You want to go tell you support of those actions, none of those actions any Palestinian cause. This is the Hamas cause and using Palestinian people as puppets because, Hamas military cannot build its own military like Israel has. So it uses the Palestinian people as its personal freaking military for its cause. Right over here. All of it. Digging away, and we're going to see more of what his retarded stuff has said. But here we go. So you see how they manipulate people, how they fool people, and they want people to follow this stupid, retarded script. It's getting out of hand. Instead, you go to a mosque to learn how to pray, what you're supposed to pray for, and make a wish through prayer. Instead, we are listening in here all these retarded things, which is not what we are supposed to do. We are not supposed to support any of this. When I first Okay, here we go. No, Aman Kumar, you see me on YouTube. I told you that I wasn't Muslim, but I do share Hindu stories. I told you that from the beginning. You didn't know I was a Muslim? Yeah, but let me go share his comment. What did he say? No, I share Hindu stories. Yeah, I share Hindu stories too. Right here, I share Hindu stories too. But thank you. Let's go. Let's see what that retarded idiot says. All of it. Okay, let's go in there and bring this to the scene. Yeah, so support the Palestinian call to rape people, murder people, blah, blah, blah. I just showed you. That's the Alexa cause. When actually Alexa Mosque is not the Dome of the Rock that everybody thinks that Dome of the Rock, the Golden Dome is Alexa. It's not. It's completely separate, but yeah.
ये फलस्तीनियों के जख्मों पर नमकपाशी है और ये पाकिस्तानी कौम को कबूल नहीं है.
Excuse me, no, we accept it fully. So when Iranian women got killed by Khamenei, burnt alive, that was okay to you because they were not Palestinians. Apparently Palestinians are only Muslims on the planet, you lunatic.
मैं उलमा से कहता हूँ कि इसके खिलाफ फतवा दे जुमला उलमा ये गैर शरई गैर इस्लामी है और मैं पाकिस्तान
Islami. Islami. So to burn women in Islam, that's okay with you when Khamenei killed women. It's okay to rape children. It's okay to murder people. It's okay to kidnap people. It's okay to murder old people, no matter if it's a Muslim or a non-Muslim. It's okay to do those things. You stupid, foolish lunatic. So if anybody Pakistani media is listening, tell me what nonsense and stupid lunatics do you have in your country? Might as well shut down the mosques to protect the people from learning this disgusting, radical, unedible. I'm going to say it. It's lunatical. It's not human. It's the most disgusting narrative alive. How can you allow this? How? It's just so sick. And you're going to say that this is Islam. Get out of here, you psychopathic lunatic.
पाकिस्तान की सियासी जमातों दीनी जमातों से बिलखसूस कहता हूँ कि वो इसके खिलाफ अवामी जदोजहद को आगे बढ़ाएं। अक्सा खतरे में है, मस्जिद अक्सा खतरे में है। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप कह
Let me show you, Alexa. It's still sitting there. We shot photos over there. We took pictures over there. So what stupid stuff are you preaching to the country?
चुका है कि मैं ज़ाइंस को ग्रेटर इसराइल वसी
What greater Israel, huh? What greater Israel? I don't see anything Netanyahu talking anything like that. Your media is the only one who's announcing all this propaganda.
फिर इसराइल दूंगा। नेतन्याहू कह चुका है कि मस्जिद अक्सा का इन्हिदाम हमारे एजेंडे पर है और ग्रेटर इसराइल हम बनाएंगे। ग्रेटर इसराइल हम बनाएंगे।
No, I didn't hear Netanyahu announce anything like that, you lunatic. Or don't you think Saudi Arabia would say something about it, you stupid freaking lunatic? We didn't hear him announce he's going to bomb anything in the prayer sites. I didn't hear anything like that. Or don't you think some of the Arab countries will come in the way? There was nothing like that, you hypocritical creep.
लेकिन इसके बावजूद उनके साथ इसमें बैठना अफसोसनाक है। हम इसको मुस्तरद करते हैं, इसकी मजम्मत करते हैं, इसके खिलाफ मुजाहिमत करेंगे और इसके खिलाफ जदोजहद को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। मैं पाकिस्तान के अवाम से बिलखसूस नौजवानों से, तालिबान से, बच्चों और बच्चियों से, सोशल मीडिया एक्टिविस्ट से और
No, we are not going to support rape for the Palestinian cause. We are not going to support murdering and kidnapping for the Palestinian cause and the Alexa retarded flood. In fact, I am going to show on my stream how many Palestinians live in Israel to shut this lunatic up. Let's do a trivia question. How many Palestinians live in Israel? There you go, everybody. Bet you that lunatic does not know that. I'm going to stop my screen for a second and put myself, share another screen. We are going to see how many Palestinians actually live in Israel. Right here. If anybody can see it on my screen, put it on there. Here we go. Full screen. Look, this is how many Palestinians live in Israel. Everybody is watching that. These lunatic idiots who are saying like, "Oh no, this is going to happen. This is not going to happen. Blah blah blah. We need your support to fulfill this cause. Yada yada yada." This is how many Palestinians that live in Israel. Right here, all of it. 255,000 Palestinians. 21% of the population chose classified as Arab citizens of Israel, many of them descendants of the Palestinian refugee, which I reviewed. They live in Tamara. Most of the refugees live in Tamara, an area called Tamara. That's where they're taken. Those are Palestinian refugees in Israel. And we have idiots like this guy who's saying that, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do this, and cause another mess for the Muslims to use as puppets and continue the retarded war business. How nice. We have nothing better to do other than just 24/7 war and war and war, which is a stupid freaking narrative. It's not even a verse in the Quran. It's just a narrative that they made throughout the years ever since Israel became a state. Let's go in there. Back to this idiot. We're going to watch him again, and we're going to see what he says.
और जिनसी से कहता हूं कि इस अमरीकी गुलामी बदतरीन इसराइल नवाजी अक्सा गज़ा और फलस्तीन से
No, we don't need any of that. I showed you how many Palestinians actually live in Israel. Next.
बेवफाई के खिलाफ उठ खड़े हों और मौजूदा हुकूमत को इस फैसले को बदलने पर मजबूर करें। बहुत शुक्रिया।
No,
अस्सलाम वालेकुम व
we don't need you to educate that. Now, the next person we are going to go to, oh, gee, our next retarded person on the block, Bushra, right? So I don't understand, like, where does she get her information from? Even though she's the most idiotic Muslim on this entire platform, she doesn't give any accurate information, but we are going to stalk her page anyway in front of the public media agency. Go away. Let's just browse her page. Click away. Look at, Oh, big numbers, but a brain of a retard. 120, but a brain of a retard. Let's go to her reels. What did she state? If she didn't delete it. She started to hide some of her reels. How funny is that? Here we go. Let's look at this. She said this January the 21st. Let's play away. What did she state? And I'm going to translate.
People do not recognize the gravity and grasp the real extent of the level of terrorism that Iran has faced. There's no doubt that.
Terrorism? Now I'm going to show you something of terrorism. I wonder what the fuck is she going to say, but I'm going to show you something of terrorism. And this has nothing to do with Mossad. It's solid math. Let's go in here. Let's type like a trivia question. Let me type it in, then I'm going to share my screen. How many Iranians die from Khamenei's regime? Wow, this is something very interesting to her, and she's not going to have an answer to, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay, share screen. Share. Let's go. Share screen again. How many Iranians die? Share away. Move this to the screen. Aha! Look at that. Every year. So, about like 25,000, 4,000, 15,000, 8,000, 9,000. Every few years they get executed from the regime. And that's not a genocide according to retarded Bushra's book. So casualties, Iranian Revolution, observers different how many people died during the Iranian Revolution. Islamic government uses figures of 60,000 killed by what? Mossad or Iranian regime, as she stated? That doesn't look like a Mossad. I'll click it anyway. Does this look like Mossad? This is no damn Mossad. This is the Iranian Islamic Republic, who she's protecting. From that time, all the way down, 60,000, 100,000, 60,000, and all these people just kept dying and dying and dying throughout the years. Oh, but that's right. According to Bushra's retarded book, that's not a genocide. That's Mossad doing everything. According to Bushra's retarded education, that's Mossad doing everything. Now, not the Islamic regime. That's Mossad to blame. And that retarded leader that we've seen before, oh, please help us. We don't support. But when the Syrians died, that's not a genocide. That was something else. But we need to support the Palestinian people and keep using Muslims as puppets to support the Palestinian violent cause, which is retarded. But yes, right here, all the way down. This is 5 days ago. Total right now, we have 110 deaths. Okay, this is only in like 3 weeks, 110 deaths. And apparently, according to Bushra's book, that was Mossad. So here we go. 3,919 deaths in Iran from the protests. Now, according to Bushra's book, oh, Mossad did it. Mossad did it. Mossad did it. Yeah, right. Mossad's like has all the time in its life to just babysit what's going on in Iran and just be there 24/7. Then to actually give the blame to Khamenei. That's the statement retarded Bushra makes. Like, right, oh, Mossad did it, right? Nothing related in here. Mossad, where do you see Mossad in here? Mossad has other stuff to do other than to see what's going on in the country. But let's look away and listen to her retarded statement. That's a preview of what she stated and what reports actually say. But let's go in and listen to her statement. I'm going to share screen again. Share. Go back. Share. I'm going to listen to her retarded statement again, all the way to the finish. Let's go.
Many people are absolutely sad about the number of innocent lives, of course, that were lost during these horrendous, demonic, bloody riots, completely. But Iranian intelligence and security officials have said that they have uncovered and dismantled various terrorist, US ISIS-style, Israeli-linked sleeper cells, essentially, in multiple provinces. There is ample evidence to show that this is the
Wow. Okay, now I'm going to do another IQ test of her retarded statement as she speaks today, and I know the media is watching. So let's do another demonstration that how does Khamenei fund his wars? That's a real good question. Let's go. I'm going to stop sharing and type in the question, then bring you guys on the stage. Let me type in the question first. So who does Khamenei fund for wars? What militant groups? That's when you know where the money is going. Apparently, to Bushrah's book, oh, it's the United States doing all this shit. Okay. Khamenei, who it pays for wars regarding the regime. And I reviewed this many times, but to stump Bushrah, why not? Okay, here we go. Here it is. You don't see US on here, but according to Bushrah's retarded book, apparently it was the US, but we're gonna stump her. Let's go. Share screen. Okay. There you go. Okay, so who does Khamenei pay for wars? Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, supreme leader, has been involved in significant conflict wars, has been financially and military costly for the regime. His leadership has been associated with proxy wars, those with Israel and Saudi Arabia, which has resulted substantial military economic expenditures, and Khamenei's foreign policy has been characterized to support the acts of resistance, coalition, various conflicts, including of the Syrian civil war, wars of Iraq, which is why they're going to remain sandwiched until Khamenei does not die. They're going to be sandwiched. Yemen civil war, Gaza civil war. And apparently to Bushrah's book, that is Mossad, right? Right in front of your eyes, everybody, though. This is Mossad right here. This is Mossad information who's doing it. Khamenei's just plain solid innocent. He didn't do anything. It's the Mossad who did it, right? How stupid, but it's in front of you. How long has Iran been involved? It's in front of you, right in front of you, versus what she stated all up front. Khamenei has been doing this for many years, and until Khamenei lives, Iraq and Syria are going to continue being sandwiched, which I said many times. One from American direction, one from Khamenei's direction. They're going to keep being sandwiched until he lives. Next statement for what she said. One statement exposed. Oh, it's the Mossad who did it. Yeah, okay. And this has been going on since when? She doesn't have an answer to that. Remove this, and we're going to share the screen. Go back to our retarded statement. Okay, there we go.
The case, I think Al Jazeera reporting it. You've got some accounts on Tehran Times and a few other sources as well. One province called Kaman, there's more than 450, and that number is going up.
Oh, I got a comment, guys. Who wrote me? It is Zayan Khan. Shame on Sabas. I have a question for you, Zayan, if you haven't not learned anything from my stream. So it's okay for Syrians who got thrown acid. It's okay for Syrians to get fed drugs. It's okay for Syrians to get bombed by Assad. It's okay for Palestinians to be suffered under Hamas. Must I show you a documentary that how many times Hamas beat up its own people just because they surrendered to war? Just how sick can you be? Why don't you go live in that organization and find out how the hell does it feel, huh? Zayan, you listening to me on my stream? Go in that organization and find out what it feels like living in that damn atmosphere. My message to you on the comment you wrote. No shame on Shabazz. Bravo to Shabazz, because we do not want to be part of this evil organization. You like being terrorist organization, mutt to your face? You want to add Hamas in the club too, Zayan, huh? Bring it on. If that's so, then shut up and go live over there with the Hamas militant organization and find out what it feels like being humiliated and insulted. Since you love carrying the terrorist mud on your face, go in there and freaking find out. That's my response to you, what you just wrote on my stream. Good. Shut up.
And these individuals had ways to communicate with each other, guns, hot and cold armed weapons is how it's also described, and that's just in Kerman. Then you have Isfahan, then you have a few others as well, which again was about 160. As far as I'm aware, there's about 5 provinces at the moment, but this stretches far and wide. If a Western nation had the level of violence, infiltrated attacks by extremists and civilians turned into combatants who are armed by an entity which is a terrorist entity like Israel, like CIA, Mossad, MI6, but the other way around, how would the government and the leadership of that...
Okay, I'm going to show you a footage, okay? Let's see if the computer still has this footage. I'm going to try finding it. Terrorist entity. Terrorist entity. Oh, U.S. Mossad. U.S. Mossad, that stupid freaking lunatic. If she was in front of me, I'd slap her silly. So let's put something in front of her face, guys, okay? I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute, and I'm going to pull up something very, very interesting. And let's see if she has the guts to face what I pull up right here. Okay, so let me type in the question first. How Syrians were burnt by Assad by acid. Let's see how many people. Syrians burnt from acid. How many have suffered? Oh, this is this. Okay. This is demonite regime. This is a nightmare. According to Bushra, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. We're about to show her something really interesting. This is a terrorist regime. This is a nightmare. Ta-da! Okay, Bushra, I want you to show me right here on my screen, and I'm going to show pictures too. So, when Assad killed its own people with acid, I told you that document's there. Maybe the video is suspended, but it's there. And that was no terrorist regime. That was Mossad who did something, right? That was no terrorist regime. That was Mossad who did everything. According to Bushra's retarded book, that was Mossad who did everything. Let's go in there anywhere and look at the footages of these people, how they died, according to retarded mental Bushra. Let's see that. Right here. Acid. Bodies. Babies. Body. All these people burnt from acid and chemical weapons. But, because according to mental Bushra, no, Mossad did that, and not Assad. Same for Khamenei, they didn't do anything retarded, lunatic. All these people who suffered from the acid, look at that little footage. White stuff coming out. And if you want, I can click it, show it to the people. Let's just click it anyway. What happened to a sample when they had acid? If it's going to pull up, I wonder if it is. I don't know. Is it? No, I don't think it is. But this is all the people from the acid. But that's right. According to Bushra's retarded book, Mossad did this too. Just how stupid can she possibly be, man? Like, I'm exposing all her statements with solid sources, and she's still not ready to accept that, hey, it's the leaders. Stop giving Israel the blame. It's these leaders. Okay, you're mad, whatever, nobody cares. But these are facts, and people want to freaking get out of it. There's a limit. They're humans. If you make fun of ex-Muslims, I don't blame them because they lived under trauma all their life. And if you're going to keep it this way, keep the atmosphere this way, then yes, there's going to be many other people who are going to be leaving too, because nobody wants to live in hell. Now, where's the media? Where's the media? Retarded idiot. Where's the media? Agalorat, retarded girl. Oh, but the Iranian government did it. Why did it kill its own people? You want to tell that to you butthead, stupid lunatic woman sitting in UK? I hope UK really does something to you. The day you do, I'm probably going to be the first American Pakistani woman who's going to celebrate if something ever happened to you. Please, UK, do something to her. I beg you, she's an idiot. So, when Khomeini kills its own people and beats up the women for not wearing a hijab, that's okay to you, okay? But if when you, living in UK, you're free not to wear a hijab, that's okay with you, but put pressure on those females. But no, the United States does everything according to her book. How stupid can she be? So yeah, listen away to her stupid mental statements. But okay. You mean to beat up its own people, not seek for help? Just like if your husband was abusive and your husband beat you up, your husband did shit to you, and he took internet from you. Oh yeah, let's just say that. If he took internet from you, wouldn't you be crying like a baby? How to reach out to mommy and daddy? If your husband took away your internet, everything, locked you up in a dark room, wouldn't you be crying, help, help, where can I reach mommy and daddy? Help, help, where can I reach mommy and daddy? That would have been you, save for the Iranian people. Oh my God. Like, okay, so just listening to I'm not sure if anybody else is interested to watch like a mini documentary, but just like watching this shit, it makes me laugh. Like all these lunatical statements by people. There's a limit. Let's go back to my bookmark, and all these idiotic, retarded Muslims, I like to call them, who don't think normally and living in an illusion think it's okay. It's okay to support this narrative. Then might as well just carry the terrorism on and stop crying there. We're not terrorists, but you want the Hamas narrative in your book, but you're not terrorists. Just how stupid can some people be? Like, honestly, I just showed you the Hamas narrative. Now let's listen to this idiot. His name is Aladdin, as in Aladdin. Let's listen to this lunatic. So the Palestinian kept calling Muslim countries their whole life for help and things like that. Abel, look at someone just attacked me again. Someone just attacked me again on my stream. Hi. We're gonna share him. Before I share him, I'm gonna respond to this guy. He wrote me something very mean, and I'm gonna respond to him. How you doing? Ready, guys? This guy sounded like he wrote on my stream, and I'm not sure if I can catch his comment. He wrote it on the bottom of my stream. So this guy, he wrote me that tu hoti kone Pakistan ki fauj ki, you kafir. So Gujar, let me respond to you that you wrote on the bottom of my stream. Gujar, let me ask you this: Do you support the terrorism mud on Pakistani's face? Stop crying to the Americans that Pakistanis are not terrorist organization, and stop crying to India about it. And you want to add Hamas in the picture. So why don't you stop being a lunatic and stop supporting these organizations and save Pakistanis' respect, you stupid fucking lunatic? No, we do not want Hamas, and we have nothing to do with it. And if you're so supportive, then move into the Hamas militant organization and carry the terrorism mud along with all the other Pakistani. It's either that change or you suffer the stuff that you already live with. That's my response to your stupid comment. Get off my page. Okay, so now we're going to look at this lunatic. Okay, let's play him like an idiot.
कायदे आज़म ने कहा था कि जब तक फ़लस्तीनियों को उनके हकूक़ नहीं मिल जाते, उनकी ज़मीन नहीं मिल जाती.
Okay, Qaeda-Azam, how many wars have happened since Qaeda-Azam died? We're going to review that right now. So these idiots can shut up now. It's time to move on with their life and shut up. After Qaeda-Azam died, How many wars did Palestinian do? And Israel welcomed them anyway. Screen share. Before we finish him, we're going to review this guy's retarded source so people can see it. It's time people need to face the facts and stop acting like lunatics. And I know that guy wrote me. I responded in my stream to his comment under my stream. Share on the screen. Okay. So from 1988, the wars didn't last that long. They were multiple wars, but the most deadliest war was October 7th, which was done from Palestinians themselves. And throughout time, how many benefits, and I'm going to open in front of this dickhead's mouth, like what benefits did Israel give to Palestinians? Let's look at what benefits did Israel give to Palestinians. Okay. CS reports, United States, Israel latest ability to direct military aid. Right here. Gave at least 3.3 billion aid. And we are going to look at videos too, just for the heck of it to shut this guy up. And yes, throughout time. And this was all. 5.7 Palestinian refugees live in East Jerusalem. And we're going to go in there and look at the videos, see if there's videos too. Okay, the birth of Israel and the first Arab. Let's watch that for the heck of it. Birth of Israel and the first Arab. You see how they removed this video? Okay, so I clicked birth of Israel and the first Arab, right? That's what I clicked right here. Birth of Israel and first Arab. Now, when I click it, it shows something else. Watch, I'm going to click it again, and it's going to show something else. It doesn't say birth of first Arab. So, like, okay, that's the answer to that retarded idiot who was saying that Arab land. No, they didn't want a state. Palestinians didn't want a state to begin with. It says it right in here. If you want to research for yourself, no, they didn't want a state to begin with. They just didn't. They never wanted a state to begin with. Relief agency, like, so they have gotten benefits before, and I've seen Palestinians live there. And then throughout time, it's funny how YouTube suspended a lot of things that I used to see on here. Everything is from 2024 or 2023. That's about it. Nothing from the past, nothing. But if for the heck of it, we will just type it in anyway. What benefits does Israel give? Palestinians in Israel. Let's type that. And Israel living. See? It's funny how you terminate so much history. So many of this is just like gone. All this stuff is like gone. All of it. Internet took it down. Look at all this. Sad. So we are going to go back. I'm going to see if I can find a documentary to share regarding Israel, how many Israelis keep Palestinians, but we are going to return to the documentaries of all these lunatics who stated stuff, but yeah. Okay, remove. Let's go back. Oh. What question do you have? What is it, Aman Kumar? I'm streaming. What is it? What is your question? But do you think the Board of Peace is going to change the situation of the innocent people on the ground? Okay. It just depends who's in charge of them, and everybody comes to an agreement, then yeah, something in work. But if people don't come to an agreement, then we're gonna be having these minor incidents on the ground. You can understand that, but yeah. Okay. Okay, share screen. We're gonna go back to X. Okay. Share.
हम सोच भी नहीं सकते कि हम इसराइल को तस्लीम करेंगे या उनके साथ बैठेंगे। आज ट्रंप की सरबराही में जिस तरह से पीस ऑफ बोर्ड के चार्टर के ऊपर 20 ममालिक ने दस्तखत किए हैं, उनमें हमारा प्यारा पाकिस्तान भी है तो वो फॉर्म 47 का वज़ीर-ए-आज़म, वो 17 सीटों वाला शहबाज शरीफ, जब वो दस्तखत कर रहा था चार्टर के ऊपर, तो वो पाकिस्तान की नुमाइंदगी कर रहा था। वो पाकिस्तान की कौम की तरफ से दस्तखत कर रहा था, आपकी तरफ से वो दस्तखत कर रहा था, और साथ ही साथ ट्रंप के कानों में कह रहा था, मेरी टांगों में दम नहीं है, मैं इतने जोगा नहीं हूँ। वो बाबा बैठा हुआ जो जिसकी करामात हैं सारी, जो पाकिस्तान को इसराइल के इतना करीब लेके जा रहा है, वो
Well, let me tell you something, Aladdin. This should be interesting. Number one, your military would not hold word if the U.S. never trained it, and there's sources to prove that. And save yourself some embarrassment than for me to bring it up to the stage. How the U.S. been trained by the United States specialties. And for that, since the major military gain worth around the world, it's your right to listen to the Americans. And number one, you are supporting a stupid cause that prevents violence. Hatred is no cure ever. There wasn't a cure yesterday. There is no cure today. And all the damage it has done to people throughout the years, it done it to the Syrians, it done it to the Iraqis, who are still fighting to be free today from this mess. And by the way, so many Syrians died. You didn't seem to have a voice. And all you can think about is these retarded lunatics who support the violent narrative. That's no cure for them, just to bow to Hamas.
बाबा बैठा हुआ सारा, जो पाकिस्तानी फौज को अब इसराइल भेजेगा हमास के खिलाफ लड़ने के लिए, हिजबुल्लाह के खिलाफ लड़ने के लिए। आप सब जानते हैं कि जो पीस का ड्रामा रचाया जा रहा है, जितने 20 ममालिक ने वहाँ पे सिग्नेचर किए हैं कि ये सो कॉल्ड पीस होगा, और ये इसराइल के खिलाफ नहीं लड़ने वाले, बल्कि ये
एक काम कर बेटा, why don't you, since you cry when Afghanis call you bad, you cry when Indians call you bad and say we're not terrorist organization, so why the fuck would you want Hamas in your club? Welcome that into the book and carry the terrorist mud in your face, okay? You cry when Afghans call you bad, you cry when Indians call you bad that we're no damn terrorist organization. They are, but you want to carry the Hamas mask on your face, so what do you want to do?
ये एक वर्ल्ड फोर्स बनाई गई है कि वो जाके वहाँ पे अमन कायम करेगी, डेवलपमेंट करेगी और हमास का खात्मा करेगी। जितने भी मुसल्लह ग्रुप हैं उनका वो खात्मा करेगी, उनके खिलाफ लड़ेगी, अमन कायम करेगी। जितना उन लोगों ने कब्जा करना हुआ था सारी जमीन, तो वो
Today, Aladdin, I'm going to show you a debt chart, if I can pull it up, and the internet did not terminate this. This should wake up his brain. But yes, I'm going to try finding it before I share my screen. Let me type in the question right in here in the search bar. Hamas kills Palestinians. Hamas kills Palestinians. And it's funny how the internet has become like an anti-hate book, I swear. A lot of the stuff that I used to find, I can't trace it anymore. It's more of a hate book, and it just sings about 2024, 2025. It's like no way out of it. When I want to show them, like, the truth that how Hamas has killed people, and this is the stuff that's been terminated, shifted through the rubble and Israeli strike, all is showing the internet itself is what Israel did, but not the crimes of Hamas. How crazy is that? Half of the stuff that I saved months and months ago. I can't trace that shit anymore because the internet has terminated. So let's see when. Obey the rules how Hamas trapping Israeli soldiers in Gaza. That was the starting of October 7th. And it's sad. All the footages and the documents that I have saved to prove that Hamas is the guilty one, the internet has suspended it. Let's see if X has it. X.com, anything. Let's see if X has it. Anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to show him Ahmed's footage. Okay, yeah, it does say reports recent show. This explains everything. Right here. People can see it. I'm going to show you guys. Look, this is what I wanted to show him. Look, always know that the computer does terminate sources. So if people are wondering like, oh, why can't I find this anymore? Or anti-hate, it's because the computer can terminate shit. So look, it says it right there on the computer screen. Recent reports show that Hamas been responsible for killing dozens of Palestinians in Gaza for targeting rival factions, accused collaborators, resort control, ongoing internal conflict. Now, you see, guys, a lot of the stuff that I wanted to show on footage, the internet has terminated. If you were to do a scavenger hunt for yourself, 90% of the internet videos are just going to say what Israel did. And they're all going to be from footages either from 2024 or 2025 updated with that. But nothing on this internet shows the stuff that I'm showing you now because it has been terminated. Right here, if I were to find a video that how did Hamas do this crime to kill the Palestinians, I can't find it anymore. It's hidden right here. Look, I pulled up this article. Recent report shows Hamas killed Palestinians after ceasefire. Hamas Israeli forces withdraw Gaza and power vacuum, escalating violence amongst the Palestinians. Hamas, which controls Gaza, has been reported to crack down rival groups, individuals cooperating with Israel. So that means like if any Palestinian was cooperating with Israel, it is dead. And that's what Hamas did. Killed them. Any collaboration, any Arab Palestinian cooperating with Israel, it is dead. Hamas has reportedly executed 30 Palestinians since the ceasefire, and these killings have been described in human rights group condemning violation of human rights and international law. Hamas justifies such actions, but the funny thing is, no video. All the videos, guys, have been terminated. Every single damn video I tried to find to prove, to show that he is in there, that militant organization is in there, that has been terminated. How crazy is freaking that? And then we listen to lunatics who talk like this on the screen, like, oh, look at what happened to the Palestinian people. Oh, look at what happened to the Palestinian people. Well, when you show you facts like that, then they're shut up. They don't have an answer to that. And I just showed one that, yes, Hamas has been killing the Palestinian people ever since they agreed to a ceasefire deal to make up with Israel. Hamas don't want that. The Palestinians do. But Hamas don't. And now it's killing them. Just like Khamenei does not want any peace. It wants to keep being in power, and it's killing the Iranians to keep that power. The regime is just a puppet tool for manipulation and control. When you want control, you just want control. Nothing can stop you. Let's go back to his footage. Right here. Let's see what this idiot says.
फलस्तीनियों के अपने कब्जे में कर चुके हुए हैं। अब उनको क्या चाहिए? अब उनको ये बंदे चाहिए, ये मुल्क चाहिए कि भाई ये मुल्क जाकर लड़ेंगे हमास के खिलाफ। आइंदा
Bhai Sahab, ये मुल्क लड़ेंगे. So when you didn't say like that when you were tortured by the Taliban, and you didn't take risks like that, and you didn't cry out for any of the Pakistani soldiers, instead you've been shut up. When Pakistan was at the side and so many Syrians died throughout the years, your mouth didn't open, but it wanted to open when it came to supporting Hamas. Oh, like we should do it. We should support the Palestinian people. But now it's doing a good thing and wants to terminate the militant organization. You guys are crying like babies. How pathetic.
मुस्तकबिल में आप ये खबरें नहीं सुनेंगे कि इसराइल कर रहा है, आप ये सुनेंगे कि जो पीस के लिए इन लोगों ने फोर्स बनाई थी ना, वो लड़ रही है हमास के साथ, वो खत्म कर रही है हिजबुल्लाह को। अगर हमास जो वो हमला करेगी इसराइल के ऊपर तो कौन डिफेंड करेगा? और ये अमन कायम करने के लिए जो 20 ममालिक की फौजें वहाँ पे जा रही हैं ना, ये वहाँ पे अमन कायम करेंगे और ये हमास का जवाब देंगे, ये लड़ेंगे हमास से। अब इस सारी सूरत हाल में जब हमारा मुल्क या
Yes, because Pakistan is not also going to become a victim card for Khomeini, which is why it's going to support America to terminate those organizations. It's not going to become a victim card for Iran and Khomeini. That's one thing I want to paste in your brain. So it goes and goes, and Pakistanis need to shut up and deal with it.
हमारी फौज इसराइल के इतना करीब जा रही है, ट्रंप के इतना करीब जा रही है, कोई मुल्ला नहीं बोलेगा, कोई मुहिब्बे वतन नहीं बोलेगा, कोई सियासतदान नहीं बोलेगा, क्योंकि शहबाज शरीफ ने ट्रंप के कान में कहा है कि वो बैठा हुआ है बाबा फील्ड मार्शल, उसकी सारी करामात हैं कि उसने सबको डंडा दिया हुआ है। सारे मौलवी भी चुप हैं, सियासतदान भी चुप हैं, वो जो यहूदी एजेंट का चूरन बेचते थे
Mahalvi chup रहेंगे because historically when you guys want to ask Islami, I'm an Islami religious Muslim, I'm an Islami religious Muslim, but you do not want to accept Israel and the Jews who are actually written in the Quran. How many times is Israel mentioned in the Quran? I'm an Islami religious Muslim. I'm a Islami religious Muslim, but I don't want to accept Israel in the Quran. Right there. 43 times. 43 times. And the mullahs keep it out. Mullah never brings this up. What does the mullah bring up? The Palestinians that are not in the freaking Quran. Right there. Quran does not directly mention the Palestinians. So what, Alexa Flood? Made by retarded people, a narrative? God, you guys are living in an illusion, I swear. Living in an illusion. Living in an illusion. 48 times. Listen to his retarded speech to the finish.
आराम और पिछले 20 सालों से वो भी इस फील्ड मार्शल के तलवे चाट रहे हैं और देखो हम भी इसके आगे आगे फिर रहे हैं.
Yes, you're gonna walk around whether you like it or not. Because if you Pakistanis, अगर मेरे लोगों को, I'm gonna say in Urdu than in English, अगर आप लोगों को इतनी ही नफरत है टेररिज्म, कोई आपको टेररिज्म बोले कि हम टेररिज्म नहीं है, तो फिर हमास को क्यों गले लगाओ? Now I'm gonna say it in English. If you guys are so offended by the term terrorism, why on earth would you want to kiss Hamas and support Hamas in any sort of way? Instead of feeling proud that you're going to fight Hamas, you're doing boo, we have to fight Hamas, and we just shaped the Palestinians. Palestinians' cure is to shut up and move on. Okay? There's many Palestinians who live in Israel who had benefits from there, who have jobs there, who work better formats there, versus in an organization that they live under an illusion, something called the Hamas militant organization, no damn freaking life. So all these people who are like crying, like, oh my goodness, we're recognizing Israel. Deal with it. Sorry. You have to deal with it. That's what I say. You have to deal with it. Because if someone's giving you a better life, someone's giving you a future, there's no reason for you to cry about it. It's stupid. Stupid. You would rather live under a militant organization knowing what happened to Syria, what happened to Iraq, and is still suffering their consequences until the regime is dead. But no, you want to stay in that retarded lunatical atmosphere. And then retarded Muslims like Bushra cry like, oh, you're an ex-Muslim. Yeah, if you're going to live in China, you're going to become an ex. To be the enemy of the United States is dangerous, but to be an ally, fatwa is kiss. I agree, Aman Kumar. You are absolutely right. I'm going to share your comment. You are absolutely right. Yes, 100%. You are absolutely right. Why on earth would you ever risk yourself to go against the United States? You're either a lunatic or the dumbest idiot on the planet that you would ever want to go against the United States for almost anything. Anything. Like literally. anything. You got to be the stupidest nation on the planet to ever think that way. Knowing how powerful the United States is, its dollar holds the most power, its stuff holds the most power, and you're going to be an idiot to go against it, then there's something seriously wrong with you and the planet. If you know your nation is not strong enough, why do you want to mess up something you already have? That's how I say it. You're absolutely right, Aman Kumar. You're not wrong at all. USA has found a perfect solution to keep both Israel and Pakistan in a check. Bravo. Yeah, I'm just going to put it this way, that a lot of the weirdo, retarded Pakistanis who are crying like babies, they're not going to get anything by crying. If they feel so freaking offended when people call them terrorism, that stop supporting terrorism, why on earth would they want to support Hamas and support the Hamas movement at all? That's just out of my knowledge, that you hate it when people call you terrorists, but you want to support the Hamas movement. And then to be heroes, you would rather support being zeros than to kill Hamas militant. I'm never going to understand that, Aman Kumar. So yes, I'm a proud American Pakistani, and I'm proud of what Shahbaz Sharif agreed to supporting President Trump. There are some lunatics out there who are still moping about this issue, but I'm going to put it this way. If you love being called a terrorist, then go ahead and move in with the Hamas militant organization. So I showed a lot of the anti-weirdo content creators in the Muslim world right now who are moping like little babies, but when you show them facts, they will not have an answer. And I showed many facts to Bushra's statement, Aladdin, and that senator who's against the statement that, we shouldn't do that. There's going to be many like that. But in order to expose them on the X platform, you must show sources, which I did. And I promise you all, my subscribers and X people who are watching me, what I showed you on my screen, they will not have an answer to. And it's true that a lot of the stuff has been suspended from the internet. It's not easy to get it back. Like I wanted to show the footage when Palestinians were beaten by the Hamas. I'm pretty sure I can't find that now. I'll try looking for it again, but I'm pretty sure I can't find it. 90% of the internet sources is from just 2024 and 2025, all related to what Israel did. Nothing related to what Hamas did. I've looked, and look, a lot of the stuff, old stuff, it has been terminated. Now, why? You wouldn't know. So if you have any old sources, I recommend you keep it, because it takes less than a month or two to suspend something like that. And it's happening fast. So you all, I'm going to get ready to end this stream. Thank you, Aman Kumar, for coming from India and many other places. So about the peace agreement, I'll just put it this way. It's beneficial to the Muslim countries. By supporting the US, you can save yourselves from this war drama. And all those people who make fun of the ex-Muslims, if you lived under trauma, you would want to find a way to do something too. In simple conclusion, people want this trauma to end because the leaders are just doing what they need to do to remain in power. Khamenei's killing the Iranian people to stay in power. Assad, look at what it done to the Syrians. Feed them drugs, burn them with acid, throw chemical weapons. And still today, due to all that abuse, he launched a drug company and he became famous off of it. Power is power. When you just want power, you don't give a damn. You're going to kill your own people too to keep that power. And that's exactly what's happening to the Iranians. That happened to Syria. That happened to Iraq. And Syria and Iraq are still going to continue to be sandwiched until Iran's regime is destroyed. So that is the puzzle of the Middle East. That's the main reasons why Muslim countries agreed to Trump's plan that, okay, set us free from this storm. We're ready to do what Trump wants to eliminate this weirdo war zone. There's a limit because too many people have been dying for so many freaking years. And all these retarded Palestinian supporters, Palestinian this, Palestinian that. Why don't you live in the Hamas organization and find out what life is like? I'll put it right there. Take care, guys. And see you, Aman Kumar. Take care.